Hey guys, welcome back to another Swift programming logic tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to use URL components in Swift. So URL components are basically an easy way to encode your URL without having to worry about any of the encoding yourselves. So what I mean by that is, for example, if you had a space in your URL or like a percentage sign or something like that, if you try and put those in the actual URL, what will happen is it would end up not working because you can't have those kind of characters in a URL. So you need to use URL components, and then when you get the URL from that URL component, it will all be encoded for you. So on the right here I have the API which we're going to be calling today, and it's just a random facts API which I usually use. So here if we just copy this, put that in there, and you'll see that this is the random fact which we're working on. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to call this random fact API using URL components. Now the first thing to do is create them, so let's call them URL components, and we'll just create them like that. And now there's 4 things which you need to create: the scheme, host, path, and query items, and I'll explain what each of those are. So if the first one is the scheme, and this is just HTTPS most of the time. It's just this bit at the front. Sometimes it's HTTP, most of the time it's HTTPS. So after that we can go to here, and we also need the host, and this is actually the main website. So once you get past the scheme, you have uselessfacts.json.pl, and that is the main website. So we'll copy that, put that in there, and now we also need the path, and this is what comes after the main website. So after the slash it goes random.json, and then this is it for the path. So if we copy that with the slash, URL components dot path is equal to random.json. And finally we have the query items, and these are basically just the parameters. So here we only have one parameter, which is language is equal to English. So add that in. URL components dot query items is equal to, it's a array, and let's add in one URL query item. The name of this parameter is language, and the value of it is en. Okay, language of that is en. So there we go, there's our whole URL. And now what I can do to get this is I can just do, let's just print the URL components dot URL, and it might ask me to unwrap it. We can just do that. Okay, and once it's done that, what I'm going to do is just run this, and we should get the pretty much same URL that we have here. We might be missing one slash, not sure why there's 2 slashes, but gives you the same thing. So yeah, so now let's just wait for it to load on the simulator, and we'll just wait for this to start up. Okay, and you can see this here is our URL, which is basically the same as the one here. So let's just copy them both in, put that in there from browser, and this one, put that in there from components, and you can see they're exactly the same. We've just created it like this. But now I'll show you guys. Let's say our language wasn't English. This isn't going to work, but let's just say I add in a bunch of these characters, few spaces, English, dot dot. Let's add in a bunch of those and a slash to make it even better. So now if I run this again, if we try and type this with this parameter in, it won't work. So you can see it encodes it for us like this, and that's useful. I think the slash is going to be a problem because even if it encodes it, it'll still decode it as a new thing. But apart from the slash, you can see everything else got encoded, and now you could actually put this into web browser. It wouldn't work obviously because this isn't a language, it only supports English and I think Dutch. But yeah, you can see it all encoded it for you, which is very useful, so you don't have to worry about this encoding yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a future tutorial. Bye!